Hey, what's up guys? Chris McCarthy here with Jump Rope Fit, and this is your Jump Rope Fit functional fat loss workout of the day. Now today's workout is going to be a 20-minute AMRAP, and AMRAP stands for as many rounds or as many reps as possible within that 20 minutes. So you're gonna go ahead, set a clock for 20 minutes, and we're gonna repeat this sequence of movements. Starts off with that jump rope. We're gonna do 120 rotations of that jump rope. Now if you want to intensify the workout, you can do double unders, so you just do half as many, so you just do 60 of those double unders. Then we're gonna move on to 12 dumbbell thrusters, followed by 24 sit-ups, so we're gonna work the core and the abs there. Then we're gonna move on to 12 dumbbell push-ups, so that's down on the ground with dumbbells, doing 12 of those. And then we're gonna end with 6 pull-ups. And that completes one round of that, but like I said, we're doing a 20-minute AMRAP. So we're gonna go ahead and repeat that same sequence of movements for a total of 20 minutes. All right guys, that's the workout. Now let's go over all of the individual movements. Here are some quick tips and technique on jump rope. So first off, we're gonna start with our feet together, and we're jumping on the balls of our feet. And we're not even jumping, guys, it's more of a bounding motion. So we're just bounding up and down, just a couple inches off the ground, just enough to go ahead and clear this rope. No need to bring your knees up really high or kick your feet back, just straight up and down, bounding motion, just a couple inches off the ground. Now, make sure your shoulders are down and relaxed and your chest is up. Once you initiate the first swing of the jump rope, we are bounding on the balls of our feet. My feet are close together. My shoulders are down and relaxed. Now you notice my elbows are in close to my sides. My hands are slightly in front of my hips, and I'm rotating the rope just with my wrists. So a couple things there. Keeping those elbows in close to our sides. We want to make sure we are doing that. If your hands start to trail out, what happens is that jump rope comes up off of the ground, and basically that shortens up the rope. As it comes around, you're gonna go ahead and trip on that. Also, hands slightly in front of the hips. You should be able to see your hands in your peripheral vision right in front of your hips. If you start to see them trail backwards, what's gonna happen here is that is pulling the rope back. So as it comes up over your head, it's gonna end up tripping on your toes. So you wanna make sure those hands are slightly in front of your hips. Also, making sure you're rotating the rope just with your wrists. It's just a quick little flick of the wrist. We don't have to have a lot of movement at the elbow joint or at the shoulder joint. Keep it all in tight, and just a little flick of that wrist is all you need to rotate that rope. Should be a very relaxed movement. Now this is your basic single jump. This is fine to do. If you want to intensify the workout, you can do a run in place, which is just alternating right, left, right, left. That's going to speed up the movement a little bit. You can also go into a bit of a boxer step, where you're just kicking one foot out in front of the other and alternate through there. Now if you really want to intensify the workouts, you can do what's called double unders, and that's going to be 2 rotations of the jump rope for every jump. All right guys, those are some tips to get the best benefit and efficiency out of your jump rope. These are dumbbell thrusters. We're gonna start on the ground here. We have 2 dumbbells here on the ground. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring these dumbbells up into this front rack position. You're gonna be in a nice squat stance. Your feet are gonna be a little bit wider than hip width apart, and toes are gonna be pointed out slightly. We're gonna bring the dumbbells up into that front rack position. From here, we're gonna go down into a full squat, so the butt goes down below knee level. Knees should be tracking out over those toes, not caving in. From here, we're gonna press through the floor, press those dumbbells all the way up overhead. From here, we're gonna bring them back down and then go right into that squat. So these are the dumbbell thrusters. Now what you want to pay attention to is making sure that it's one fluid movement. So as you're bringing those dumbbells down, you're going into that squat. As you're pressing out of that, you're going to press those up. We don't want to bring them down, pause, and then go into a squat. We also don't want to stand up and then do a strict shoulder press. So grabbing these 2 dumbbells, front rack position, feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart, toes are pointed out slightly, into that squat, and press. All the way down, all the way up. These are dumbbell thrusters. These are your basic sit-ups. Now, if you don't have an ab mat, this is what an ab mat is. I highly recommend one of these. This actually goes around the lower part of your back, gives you a little bit of support. If you don't have an ab mat, you could actually just get a towel, roll that up, and give you a little bit of support. So we're gonna set this on the ground, your towel or your ab mat, press that against the lower part of your back. Now from here, your feet are together, your knees are together, and you should have about a 90-degree angle here on your knees, or bend in your knees. Now what we're gonna end up doing here, going all the way back, touching our hands on the ground by the sides of our ears. Then we're gonna come all the way up, and then we're gonna touch our toes from here. So all the way down, all the way up. Now you notice I don't have my hands behind my head. That puts a little bit extra added strain on the neck. So we can just keep our hands right around the sides of our ears, touch that ground behind us, and then all the way up, making sure our chest touches our thighs and our hands are touching our toes. These are ab mat sit-ups. These are dumbbell push-ups. Basically, they're about the same as regular push-ups. I just prefer to do all my push-ups on dumbbells. Couple different reasons. First off, by having your hands on the dumbbells, it's less flexion on your wrists, so it's a little bit easier on the wrists. Also, it puts you in this position that you keep those dumbbells really close to your sides to make sure you're not flaring out your elbows as you're in that push-up position. Also, it allows you to go a little deeper in the push-up since your hands are on those dumbbells. So we have these dumbbells about shoulder width apart here on the ground. What we want to do is want to make sure that our shoulders, wrists, and elbows are all in a line. We don't want to be behind the dumbbells or up over the top of the dumbbells. We're getting into a plank position, making sure that our hips aren't sagging down or piking up. From here, we're going to go all the way down. Chest touches the ground, keeping those elbows in close to our sides. Press all the way up to full extension. All the way down, all the way up. These are your dumbbell push-ups. All right, these are pull-ups, and I have a couple different progressions I'm gonna go over today. So first off, you might have a bar like I have that's mounted over there on the wall, or you might have one of those bars that's mounted in your doorway. First off, I'm gonna go over just your basic pull-up. Then there's a couple modifications if you're unable to do unassisted pull-ups with some bands and some different modifications. So first off, palms are facing forward, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You're gonna jump up on this bar, pull your chin up over the top, all the way down. All the way up, all the way down. These are your basic pull-ups. Now, if you're unable to do unassisted pull-ups, what you can do is get a band, wrap it around that bar, place one foot in that band. That's gonna give you a little bit of assistance. You can also put a box or a bench in front of here underneath you, place one foot on that box, other one hangs off to the side. So you can press on that box, and that's also gonna give you a little bit of assistance. If you're still unable to do that, you can get a band that has handles on it, and even if you don't have a pull-up bar, you can wrap this on any high mount, even for example, a doorway around the hinge area, anything that you can mount that up on the top. So I'm gonna send this up over the top of the bar. Now we're just basically mimicking that pull-up. So once again, palms are facing forward about shoulder width apart. Depending on the height of your bar, you might have to get down on your knees or sit down on the ground like I have to here. Now from here, palms are facing forward, shoulder width apart. We're mimicking that pull-up position. So we're pulling our hands down below chin, then all the way slow and controlled back up. All the way down, all the way up. So these are your modifications for your pull-ups. Now, if you happen to end up doing them with this band, this is significantly easier than it is to do a regular pull-up. So whatever workout prescribes for the amount of pull-ups that you have to do, I would double or triple that just to make sure you're getting the best out of that workout, since those are significantly easier. All right, guys, those are pull-ups.